Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Porsche 911 992R, the GT3 at Okayama, full for another track guide. If you're new to my channel, we do a hot lap breakdown, then we are back in the cockpit one final time, the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and if you want to know the track conditions, check out the description. It's always written down in there. Right, let's start the hot lap. Right. I'll record it all over again because I've just done it once without my mic being on, so that's a lot of fun. So just before we start, I did check. So it's an air temp of 20, but with it being overcast, the track temp is a lot cooler than it was when I did the Mercedes lap, so it was only 27 degrees. They were both loaded from the schedule, but they were loaded about a week apart. So take that into account. So we're smashing it down the main straight, looking for this blue cone on the right-hand side, braking up to about 75%, trailing it off down to second gear, back on the gas. Head over to the right-hand side, looking for this green asphalt, lightly on the brakes, back on the gas in third gear, just ahead of the apex. That'll make you exit nice and wide. Get back over to the left-hand side, straighten the track out whilst we look for the 50 board on the left-hand side. Braking again up to about 70%, trying to avoid the ABS as best as possible. Back on the gas in second gear, all the way up. So I think the Mercedes-AMG was the meta car last time it was here, but I did prefer driving this. Looking for the 100 board, we go through that, brake up to about 90%, drop it all the way down to first gear at the apex, or I certainly do. Head back over to the right-hand side, lightly on the brakes, in second gear, back on the gas at the apex. Exit wide, using this curb again as the braking marker. Exactly the same corner once all over. Once all over, don't know what that means. Looking for the 50 board, braking up to about 75%, dropping it down to second gear. First gear at the apex, back over to the left-hand side, lightly on the brakes, down to first gear, smoothly back on the gas. Got to be patient with that last part. Up to third gear, big lift, don't cross the yellow line. Looking for the patch of sand on the left-hand side for the final braking marker. Cut the corner, exit wide, and over and across the line we go in a 127.1. So that's about 4/10 faster than the Merc, but it is cooler conditions. I did prefer driving this. We'll do the breakdown now. Smash through this breakdown lap. So first we're going to brake just before we get to the blue cone on the right hand side that you can see there. We brake up to about 75%, hold that, then trail it off down to second gear. We're looking to get back on the gas when we're at the apex here. Hug it round to the right hand side. Now we're looking for this green asphalt and this little patch of sand just before it. I'm going to lightly go on the brakes, says it, what, 18% there. Exit nice and wide. Try not to hit that gravel. It does slow you down a bit more now. Right, looking for the 50 board on the left-hand side. As we get there, we're going to brake again up to about 70%. Wipe that speed off. Down to second gear at the apex. Right, we're going to brake next just after the 100-meter board. And this time we do brake up to about 90%. Wipe all that speed off. We're not actually in the ABS just yet because we're going so fast. But then down to first gear. Looking to try and get up to full power as soon as possible while staying over to the right-hand side. Now as we get to this little dip, lightly on the brakes to about 30%. Back on the gas. You can exit nice and wide here. It's quite a lenient off-track. Next braking marker is going to be this white line just before the curbing. So just as you can see now, I'm starting to get on the brakes. And again, second gear, cut the corner, exit wide. Looking for the 50 on the right-hand side. So we're just going through that as we start braking. Again, up to about 75%, down to first gear. Back over to the left-hand side. Up to second, lightly on the brakes, down to first, on the gas smoothly. I could have got closer to the apex there. I prefer to do a big lift and then smoothly back on the gas. You can't cross the yellow line here. And now the final bit, looking for the end of the green asphalt, which is where the sand patch is. So when we brake up to about 55%, back on the gas at the apex. Alright, so that's the breakdown lap. For anyone that wants to watch it again in full without me talking with the engine sounds turned up, stick around, it's coming up.